I hate clowns.
I'm so wasted.
I'm sponsored by God.
It, directed by Andy Muschietti, is about a bunch of kids hunting a child-hunting clown named Pennywise. It is based on the book written by Stephen King, also called It. I was going to pick up the book and read it before the movie came out, and then I realized that the book is this thick. So I'll read it later. Now, going in to see it, I was prepared for a show, because the trailers for this movie were freaking scary. Like, if I had seen the first It trailer when I was 10, if I had seen it back then, I don't think I would have slept until now. I'm 18, so 8 years awake I would have been. And I was also interested in this movie because I'm afraid of clowns like everyone. Just how were they ever funny? How did kids ever go, oh, it's a clown, I love clowns? What kid ever said that? I want to meet that kid because he is a brave son of a bitch. You know, I actually did know a guy who had a real legit phobia of clowns. Like, he was petrified. He had a real problem. It's been a long time since I've talked to him. I have no idea what he's up to now. Hi, my name is Robert Barrett, and this is my story. When I was 7 years old, my grandparents took me to the circus for the very first time. And that is whenever I first met Mr. Gacy. John Wayne Gacy. Let's talk about the things I liked about It. Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård played this demonic clown like no one else. I have not seen the original It movie. Maybe I'll watch it someday. I've always heard that it's corny. And so I'm willing to bet, like I am 100% sure, that Pennywise was not as scary as Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. Like, really, he did a fantastic job, and I am not going to sleep for a very long time. So I hate him now. He looked like any other clown you might see at the circus, a bit fatter, I guess. My mama and papa, they wanted me to go up to him and buy a balloon from him, but I said no. There was a look in his eyes that I didn't trust, so I went and climbed a ladder and I broke my leg instead. Now let's talk about the ensemble cast of really, really, really good kid actors in this movie. Jaeden Lieberher, I think that's how his name is pronounced. Now he plays Bill in this movie, and he's the brave boy of this bunch of boys, and there's one girl, but mostly it's just boys, and he is the bravest boy in the entire group. He's scrawny and he stutters, but that does not stop him from being an awesome, awesome kid, and Jaeden Lieberher played him unbelievably well. Now let's talk about Finn Wolfhard. Now he plays Richie in this movie, who's the foul-mouthed, really funny kid, and honestly, I loved this kid. But yeah, he was the comedic relief in this movie, and there's one part where I died laughing, where he was telling Bill, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he was telling Bill, he's like, you know, you've almost gotten me killed and all this stuff, and and then he like flips it on you, and he says this line. I'm not going to spoil the line, but it's just so funny. Oh man, the delivery that Finn has is fantastic, and you're just like, man, you're a good actor. And now on to Beverly, the one main girl character in the movie, played by Sophia Lillis. I loved this girl, and she's very attractive, and I wish that I had known her in high school. I wish, I could date her. But she was really awesome, and her character was, she was known as like the class slut of her school or whatever. I'm not going to really spoil much about any of that stuff, but suffice to say, a lot of the rumors were just rumors. But her dad, really bad guy. She deals with her worst horror in her real life is her dad, because he sexually abuses her. I mean, you never see that, but it's strongly inferred. And she's actually one of the bravest kids in this movie. She and Bill are the two probably most courageous kids in this movie. They're awesome. They're like trying to keep everybody together so it can't get them alone and separate and, start eating them. I can't go through every single kid and every single cast member, but suffice to say, they were all great, but those were the standouts. It was a really bad break. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, but there was television, and so I was able to see that John Wayne Gacy had been arrested for the crimes of murder and rape. When I saw that, immediately I developed a severe fear of clowns. I started to have nightmares about Ronald McDonald coming to the foot of my bed. with scissors. Ready to cut off my toes. Another thing I loved about it was the humor. This movie is a really, really funny movie. And Andy Muschietti behind the camera was freaking incredible. This movie was tense, it was suspenseful, it was scary, and in large part that is due to Andy Muschietti's directing. He really makes this scary clown. It's already scary, you know, in and of itself, just the idea of it. But he takes the idea of it and just wraps it up in this horrific but beautiful directed mess. That isn't a mess. It's really good. It's scary. He's like the witch from Hansel and Gretel. Ronald McDonald will lure you inside his restaurant with makeup and smiles, and then he will fatten you up to the point where it is impossible for you to leave because you will have become so big that you can't fit through the doors. Great story, and I gotta say, the coolest part was, you know how like the Joker, you know, he's a clown. You know how he has like the Joker's Funhouse where, you know, he's got all these traps set up or he's just playing mind games with people. Yeah, it has one of those too. Except for it's not a house, it's the sewers. It scared me quite a bit, but like it's not the kind of horror movie that I think I'm gonna stay awake up at night, and maybe that's a good thing if you're one of those people, but sometimes I like to get really creeped out. Like The Conjuring made me stay up at night, and The Babadook and horror movies like that. It is just like really scary when you're watching the movie. Now if I start seeing red balloons in my dreams, which did happen once, I'm gonna be like, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen. You know, usually my biggest problem with horror movies is like bad logic, and I guess there was maybe a little bit of that in this movie, but at the same time, these are kids that you're dealing with, and so sometimes they will do illogical things. So I don't really know if that's really a flaw, but there is a little bit of that bad logic, like, why would you go towards the door, man? You know there's something in there. It gets an A. So tell me, have you seen it? If so, comment below and tell me what you thought of it. And as always, if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. And if you are one of those people who is afraid of clowns, don't worry, you are not alone. Everyone acts like it's all just a big joke. Last year's clown phenomena was chuckled at. It's not funny. This is a holy war, and people like me and people like you have a responsibility to hunt these things down. What the hell was that? Yeah, I'm sure it was just my air conditioner makes some weird noises sometimes. Sometimes I imagine things, but it sounded like it was coming from in here. Oh my God! You're in my own house! How dare you! Damn you!